Welcome to today's class of Big History Project, Threshold for Earth and the Solar System. In the previous class, we have studied about how the solar system is formed, the formation of the planets, the formation of the Earth, the formation of the crust of the Earth, and also we understood how the Earth is divided into continental plates and the oceanic plates. When these continental plates and oceanic plates are moving apart, the continents were formed, and the huge continent, which was first initially known as Pangaea, was divided into seven continents. So, after understanding deeply all this, let us deep dive or understand a little more about our Earth. We know that there are eight planets in our solar system. Do you think we have only eight planets in our universe? Has the universe stopped after making the eight planets? Is the big question today. If the universe has not stopped making the eight planets after making the eight planets, then what are the other planets known as? So those planets which are away from our solar system are called as exoplanets. Now, here you can see our solar system, the eight planets, and also Pluto. This is called Kuiper's belt. And in the Kuiper's belt, you can see these ice balls or these structures are the meteors or asteroids which are revolving in the same way as our planets are revolving. But they do not have a particular path or an orbit. So they are not falling into our solar system, but they are falling into another system. They do have a star and they are orbiting a star. But why can't we see these orbiting planets or the other stars? These stars or planets are much far away from human eye, and these can be captured only through high grade telescopes like our Hubble's telescope. Now, our Hubble's telescope will be replaced by Johannes Kepler's telescope. We can see here Voyager 1 telescope and Voyager 2 satellite rotating around and capturing the images of these planets or Earth like structures. Now, what are exoplanets and what do we know about them? Exoplanets are those planets which do not fall in our solar system. They are the planets which are outside our solar system and wobbling around a star. There are many millions and billions of stars in the universe, and so also there are many billions of planets. These planets which are rotating around the star, other stars are known as exoplanets. And we know a very little bit about them, that the structure of these planets is also much similar to the structure of our planets and like Jupiter, Saturn or Earth. But still we do not have any evidences of whether life exists on these planets or not. How do we find exoplanets? So, finding exoplanets is first, to find an exoplanet, we have to first locate a star. After locating the star, we have to locate the orbit of the star, and also then we will be able to locate the planet which is revolving around the star. This is the entire structure, and this can be found out only using scientific technology and using telescopes. But however, if you see the timeline of finding the exoplanets, after 1983 only, the first breakthrough of finding an exoplanet was there, and in 1995, that is almost 8 years after finding the first exoplanet, there was another theory of an exoplanet existence. Why are astronomers so intent upon finding other planets, and how might that be important to us today? Finding exoplanets helps us understand the phenomena of the formation of the universe, how the planets are forming, how the stars are forming, and what is the force that is holding the planet, stars, and the moon. How do we find the exoplanets? finding exoplanets with naked eye is very difficult. So scientists or astronomers use different satellites and telescopes to find out the exoplanets. First, they try to locate a star which is very wobbly and does not have its own path, is where we find most of these exoplanets. After the location of the star using the red shift and the blue shift, they locate the exoplanets because planets do not have light of their own. First, locating the star is very important for the astronomers. Once the star is located, then it is easy for them to locate the planets. Now, how is it important for us to know about the exoplanets? Why are astronomers so intent upon finding other planets? How might that be important for us today? Finding about the planets is very important. Observing exoplanets allows us to determine whether or not we actually understand those processes. The process of how the universe is formed, the process of how the planets are formed, or the stars have formed, or, for example, the moons have formed. What is the material with which the stars have formed? What is the material with which the planets are formed? What is the phenomena? What is an accretion disk? What is gravity? What are the forces which are bringing these planets and the stars together? How are they rotating in their own orbits? Now, understanding our own solar system also is very important. These are the theories which help us to understand the entire formation of the universe, and whether there is life existing beyond our universe is also an important question which the scientists are looking forward to. Now, while I was researching for this, I came across an astronomer who was researching on exoplanets. Let us listen to what she says and why is it important for her to understand exoplanets and knowing more about them. So she is Pat Brennan, NASA Exoplanet Exploration Program. I quote her words: I search for exoplanets because I think one of the most profound and thought provoking questions humanity has ever asked is, are we alone in the universe? Philosophers and curious humans have been asking this question for thousands of years, but we are the first generation who have the tools at our fingertips to begin to answer this question. With scientific observations, not only do we know of thousands of planets around other stars, and not only can we infer the existence of hundreds of billions more, but we are finding a dazzling array of planets, some very different from the ones in our own solar system. In a way, each new planetary system we discover teaches us a little bit more about how the universe works and how the Earth, Sun, and our own planetary system fits into the whole universe. So once you get into this exoplanet, you are more curious to know whether we have Earth-like planets, whether there is life on the other planets or no, and how are these planets made, what is the structure of these planets, whether they are rocky planets, gaseous planets, whether they have an atmosphere, whether they have a moon, are all mind-boggling questions. So these questions can be answered after watching the videos which you have in your VHP and also reading the articles. Have a happy reading, and let's meet in the Google Meet